Do you ever wonder why certain events unfold in your life, as if by some invisible hand? This invisible force is not external, but rather resides within you, waiting to be harnessed. Your reality is a reflection of your inner world, shaped by subtle, often unnoticed habits that direct the course of your life. When we consciously adopt certain small but profound habits, our inner world transforms, and, as a result, so does our outer experience. Let me share with you 10 small habits that, if practiced with intention, will forever alter the landscape of your life. The mind, often misunderstood and underutilized, holds within it a profound secret. What we imagine with feeling becomes our reality. This concept might seem almost too simple, too magical to be true, but its simplicity is where its power lies. We are continuously shaping our lives through the images we hold in our minds, whether we are conscious of it or not. Every thought, every picture we mentally rehearse, every scenario we play out in the depths of our imagination is quietly carving out our future. To visualize your desired life is not merely a fleeting daydream or a wishful fantasy. It is a deliberate act of creation. In the stillness of your mind, you can reshape the very fabric of your existence. The key, however, lies not in merely seeing the picture, but in embodying it with feeling. Thought alone cannot move the forces that create reality. It is the emotion behind that thought, the joy, the gratitude, the exhilaration that brings it to life. Each night, before you fall asleep, you have a sacred window of time. It is a moment where the conscious mind begins to dissolve, and the subconscious opens itself like fertile soil, ready to receive new seeds of possibility. In that state between wakefulness and sleep, your mind is incredibly malleable, and the imagery you impress upon it takes root in the deepest levels of your consciousness. Here, in this delicate, quiet space, you have the opportunity to visualize your life as you wish it to be. This act of visualization is not something that requires years of practice or special talent. Anyone can do it, but the difference between simply fantasizing and true visualization lies in how real you make the experience feel. You must see yourself living the life you desire, not as if it was some distant hope or far-off dream, but as if it were happening to you in this very moment. The more vivid, the more detailed, the more emotionally charged this inner picture is, the more potent its creative power becomes. Imagine, for example, that you desire a life filled with abundance. In your visualization, don't simply see yourself surrounded by wealth, material success, or the outward signs of affluence. Instead, immerse yourself in the feelings of what that abundance brings. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with living in abundance. How does your body feel when you are free from financial worry? What thoughts fill your mind when you no longer have to struggle for what you need? These are the sensations that bring life to your vision. It is not enough to see abundance, you must feel abundant. Or perhaps your desire is for love, a deep and fulfilling relationship that nurtures your soul. Don't merely picture yourself with a partner. Go deeper. Feel the warmth of their presence, the joy in their smile, the comfort in their embrace. Imagine the laughter, the shared moments, the connection that exists between the two of you. In your mind, let it be as real as if they were standing before you. The heart responds to these emotions, and the mind begins to align itself with this new reality. The truth is, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined with feeling. To it, all experiences are equally valid. When you visualize with emotion, your subconscious accepts the image as a fact and begins to work tirelessly to bring it to pass. This is where many people falter. They visualize briefly, half-heartedly, and without conviction. But for those who persist, who allow themselves to be fully absorbed in the feeling of their desired life, the results can be nothing short of miraculous. You might ask, but how long will it take? The answer lies not in the ticking of a clock, but in the depth of your belief and the consistency of your practice. Time, as we understand it, is merely an illusion. The moment you truly believe in the reality of your vision, when you know, without doubt, that it is already yours, the universe begins to move in ways you cannot see. People, opportunities, and circumstances will appear, often in the most unexpected of ways, to bring your vision into the physical world. However, patience is required. The mind, especially in its conscious state, often desires immediate gratification, but the subconscious works in its own time, aligning forces beyond our awareness. Your job is not to worry about the how or the when. Your only responsibility is to maintain the feeling of your desired life, as if it were already true. The more consistently you can hold this feeling, the faster your outer world will begin to reflect it. Do not be discouraged if, at first, your visualizations seem weak or unclear. Like any skill, it improves with practice. The more you engage in this process, the more vivid and real your inner world will become. Over time, the boundary between what you imagine and what you experience will blur, until you realize that the two were never truly separate. Your life, as it unfolds, will simply be the outpicturing of what you have held in your mind's eye all along. In this way, you become the master of your destiny. You are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances, no longer a victim of chance or fate. Instead, you are the conscious creator, shaping your world through the power of your imagination and the depth of your feeling. And as you continue to visualize your desired life with unwavering belief, you will come to understand that the reality you seek was always within you, waiting to be brought forth. So tonight, when the day has come to a close, and you find yourself in that quiet space between wakefulness and sleep, take a moment to dream, not as a child might dream, but as a creator. Visualize your desired life and feel it as if it were already yours. For in that moment you are doing far more than dreaming, you are planting the seeds of your future. And with faith, patience, and persistence, those seeds will grow, and the life you once imagined will become the life you live. The power of words is often underestimated, but when we speak, we are engaging in the process of creation. Every word carries with it an energy, a vibration that reaches out into the world and begins to mold the reality around us. To speak as if your desires have already manifested is not simply about positive thinking or optimism. It is about aligning your words with the reality you seek to experience. When you understand that your spoken words hold the potential to shape your future, you become aware of the profound influence your language has on your life. Consider this: how often do we speak in terms of lack or want? Phrases like "I wish I had," "if only I could," or "one day I will" are common. Yet they subtly reinforce the idea that what we desire is distant, unattainable, or separate from us. These statements are rooted in a consciousness of lack, constantly reminding ourselves and the universe that we are not yet where we want to be. What if instead we spoke as though our desires were already ours? What if in our conversations with others and with ourselves, we affirmed the reality we seek as if it were already true? When you speak as if your desires have already manifested, you are declaring your belief in the inevitability of their fulfillment. This is not about pretending or lying to yourself. It is about recognizing that the seeds of your desires already exist within you, and your words are the water and sunlight that will nurture them into full bloom. In doing so, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present, from lack to abundance, from desire to fulfillment. The first step is to understand the language you are using daily. Many people unwittingly create barriers to their success through the words they speak. For instance, someone might say, I hope to be successful someday, but the word hope implies uncertainty. It subtly suggests that success is something elusive, something that might happen but also might not. This kind of language keeps your desires at arm's length, always just out of reach. Now imagine changing that statement to, I am successful. The shift is subtle yet powerful. You are no longer hoping or wishing, you are stating a fact. By affirming this reality, you begin to act in accordance with that belief. Your thoughts, actions, and energy all align with the success you have declared. It's important to note that speaking as if your desires have manifested does not mean denying your current circumstances. You may not yet see the physical evidence of your desire in your life, but that doesn't make it any less real. The key is to speak from the perspective of the outcome you wish to create, even if it has not yet appeared. When you consistently speak as though your desires are already fulfilled, you are reinforcing this belief in your subconscious mind. And as your subconscious mind accepts this new reality, it begins to influence your thoughts, behaviors, and decisions, guiding you toward the fulfillment of your desire. Another example can be found in relationships. Instead of saying, I wish I could find love, try saying, I am loved and cherished by. Speaking from this place of already having love, you invite the energy of love into your life. Your words signal to the universe that you are ready to receive, and the universe responds in kind. The shift in your language also changes how you perceive yourself. You begin to carry yourself with the confidence and worthiness of someone who is already loved, which in turn attracts love to you. Speaking as if your desires have manifested also creates an inner sense of peace and confidence. When you declare that you already have what you desire, you eliminate the anxiety and fear that often accompany the pursuit of goals. Instead of constantly chasing after something that feels out of reach, you begin to live in the knowing that it is already yours. This sense of peace allows you to act from a place of calm assurance rather than desperation or need. Desperation repels, but confidence attracts. When you are calm and secure in the belief that your desires are manifesting, you align yourself with the flow of the universe. The language you use has the power to change how you feel and how others perceive you. Imagine someone who walks into a room and says, I am confident, I am successful, "I am living my dream," their energy immediately shifts the atmosphere around them. Their words, spoken with conviction, carry a power that influences not only their own state of mind, but also the way others respond to them. This is not arrogance, it is simply an expression of faith in their own potential. When you speak from a place of already having what you desire, you emit a frequency that attracts the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with that reality. This practice of speaking as if your desires have already manifested is a form of self-affirmation. Every time you make a declaration about your life, you are reinforcing that belief in your mind. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious. Eventually, your subconscious begins to accept these statements as truth. And once that happens, your external world begins to shift to reflect this new reality. This is the process of manifestation in its simplest form. Think it, believe it, speak it, and then watch as it unfolds. One of the challenges people face when they begin to speak as if their desires have manifested is overcoming doubt. It's natural to feel some resistance when you start affirming things that you haven't yet seen in your life. But this doubt is simply a remnant of your old way of thinking. It is the result of years of speaking from a place of lack and limitation. The key is to persist. Even if your current reality doesn't yet reflect your desires, continue to speak as if it does. Over time, this new way of speaking will become second nature, and the old patterns of doubt and limitation will fade away. Speaking as if your desires have already manifested is not a one-time event, it is a daily practice. It requires consistency and dedication. Every day, in every conversation, whether with yourself or others, be mindful of the words you choose. Speak from a place of certainty, from a place of knowing that what you desire is already on its way. The more you do this, the more you will begin to notice small shifts in your life, opportunities arising, doors opening, people appearing who can help you along your path. These are not coincidences, they are the result of the energy you have put out into the world through your words. Speaking as if your desires have already manifested is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal for creating a life. By aligning your words with the reality you wish to experience, you are not only influencing your own mindset, but also sending out a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. And as you continue to speak from this place of abundance and fulfillment, you will find that the world around you begins to transform to match the reality you have been declaring all along. Living with gratitude for the unseen is a profound way to align yourself with the forces that shape your reality. It requires a shift in perspective, an awareness that the things you desire already exist in some form, even if they haven't yet manifested in your physical world. Gratitude in this context is more than just being thankful for what you have. It's about recognizing and appreciating the things that are on their way to you, even if you can't see them yet. This approach opens doors to endless possibilities, as it fosters a mindset of abundance and belief in the unseen power of the universe. When you live with gratitude for the unseen, you are essentially expressing trust in the process of creation. You are acknowledging that the universe is always working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances, opportunities, and connections that will bring your desires into reality. Most people reserve their gratitude for when something tangible has appeared in their lives: a new job, a loving relationship, financial abundance, but the secret to true manifestation lies in being grateful before those things materialize. This is the kind of faith that moves mountains, the belief that what you have asked for is already yours, even if it's not yet visible to the naked eye. The practice of gratitude for the unseen shifts your focus from a place of lack to a place of abundance. Instead of constantly thinking about what you don't have, you begin to feel thankful for what is coming. This shift is incredibly powerful, because it changes the energy you are emitting. Every thought and emotion carries a frequency, and the frequency of gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can experience. When you live in a state of gratitude, you are aligning yourself with the same energy that attracts more things to be grateful for. Imagine for a moment that you have a desire, a goal you've been working toward, a dream you want to bring to life. Instead of focusing on the fact that it hasn't yet happened, start giving thanks as if it already has. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement as if your desire has already manifested. This isn't about pretending or forcing yourself to believe something untrue. It's about tapping into the emotional reality of your desired outcome. When you do this, you activate a magnetic force that draws your desire closer to you. The universe responds to the energy you put out. And when that energy is gratitude, you are inviting abundance into your life. Living with gratitude for the unseen also fosters a deeper connection with the present moment. So often we get caught up in the pursuit of our goals, always looking ahead and waiting for the next thing to arrive. But when you practice gratitude for the unseen, you become more attuned to the magic of the here and now. You start to notice the small miracles unfolding around you, the subtle signs that things are moving in the direction of your desires. This mindfulness keeps you grounded in the present, even as you remain excited for the future. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude for the unseen is that it eliminates the need for doubt or worry. When you are truly grateful for something that has not yet appeared, you are essentially telling the universe, I trust you. I know it's coming, and I am thankful for it already. This attitude of trust and belief leaves no room for doubt or fear. Worry, after all, is a form of resistance. It's a signal that you don't believe your desires are possible, or that you're uncertain whether they will manifest. But gratitude dissolves that resistance because it's rooted in the knowledge that everything is already working in your favor. Another key benefit of living with gratitude for the unseen is that it shifts your self-perception. When you practice gratitude for the things that are on their way to you, you begin to see yourself as someone who is already abundant, already successful, already loved. This shift in self-image has a profound impact on how you show up in the world. You carry yourself differently, you make decisions from a place of confidence rather than lack. And you naturally attract people and circumstances that reflect this new sense of worthiness and abundance. Gratitude for the unseen is also a form of surrender. It's an acknowledgement that you don't have to control every detail of how your desires come to fruition. You don't need to know every step along the way. You just need to trust that the universe has a plan. When you live in gratitude for the unseen, you are releasing the need to micromanage the process and allowing the natural flow of events to unfold. This surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means letting go of the need to force things to happen and trusting that they will happen in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Moreover, living with gratitude for the unseen cultivates patience. It allows you to release the urgency and anxiety that often accompany the pursuit of your goals. Instead of feeling frustrated by delays or setbacks, you can rest in the knowledge that everything is unfolding exactly as unfolding. Gratitude keeps you in a state of anticipation rather than impatience, because you know that your desires are on their way, even if they haven't arrived yet. This patience is not passive, it's an active form of faith, a deep knowing that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. It's important to remember that living with gratitude for the unseen is not about denying your current reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about recognizing that even in the midst of challenges, there is something greater at work. It's about trusting that the unseen forces of the universe are aligning everything for your highest good, even if you can't yet see how it's all going to come together. This faith allows you to remain centered and grateful even when external circumstances don't yet reflect the desires of your heart. Living with gratitude for the unseen is one of the most transformative practices you can adopt. It allows you to align your energy with abundance, to trust in the process of creation, and to release the doubts and fears that hold you back. By being grateful for the things that are on their way to you, you are not only accelerating their manifestation, but also cultivating a deep sense of peace and fulfillment in the present moment. The unseen may not be visible, but it is real, and when you live with gratitude for it, you open yourself up to a life filled with miracles, abundance, and endless possibilities. Controlling your inner conversations is one of the most powerful ways to shape your reality. The thoughts and dialogues you entertain in your mind are not just idle musings, they are creative forces that influence the world around you. Every word you speak to yourself carries energy and intention, whether you realize it or not. Your inner conversations are like a constant broadcast to the universe, dictating the frequency of life. When you learn to master these internal dialogues, you gain control over the direction of your life and the experiences you attract. Most people are unaware of the impact their inner conversations have on their reality. They allow their thoughts to run unchecked, often replaying negative scenarios, doubts, fears, and frustrations. These mental dialogues become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If your mind is constantly focused on lack, worry, or failure, you will inevitably attract experiences that match that vibration. The outer world reflects the inner world, and your inner conversations are the blueprint from which your reality is created. To begin controlling your inner conversations, it's essential to first become aware of them. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself throughout the day. Are your inner dialogues supportive and empowering, or are they filled with criticism and doubt? Do you replay past mistakes or imagine worst-case scenarios about the future? Awareness is the first step to change. Once you are conscious of the content of your inner conversations, you can begin to shift them in a more positive direction. One way to gain control over your inner conversations is by deliberately choosing new, empowering thoughts. This requires practice and consistency, because your mind may be accustomed to defaulting to negativity. However, you can retrain your mind by consciously replacing disempowering thoughts with ones that align with the reality you wish to create. For example, instead of thinking, "I always mess things up," you can replace it with, "I am learning and growing every day." This shift may seem small, but it has a profound impact on the energy you are putting out into the world. It's important to understand that controlling your inner conversations doesn't mean denying reality or ignoring challenges. It means acknowledging the present situation while choosing to focus on a solution-oriented positive outcome. You are not pretending that difficulties don't exist, you are simply choosing not to dwell on them or give them more power than they deserve. By focusing on the outcome you desire rather than the problem, you direct your energy toward creating a new reality. Another powerful way to control your inner conversations is through visualization. When you imagine yourself living the life you desire, your inner conversations will naturally align with that vision. Visualization is like a mental rehearsal for the reality you want to create. As you see yourself succeeding, thriving, and experiencing joy, your inner dialogue will begin to reflect those experiences. Instead of doubting yourself, you will find yourself thinking thoughts like, "I am capable, I deserve success, and everything is working out for me." The key to controlling your inner conversations is consistency. It's not enough to practice positive thinking occasionally, it must become a daily habit. The more you consciously choose empowering thoughts and inner dialogues, the more natural it will become. Over time, your mind will begin to default to positive, supportive conversations, and you will notice a shift in your external reality. Opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your new way of thinking will start to appear. It's also important to pay attention to the moments when your inner conversations tend to spiral into negativity. These are often triggered by specific situations, people, or fears. When you notice this happening, take a moment to pause and redirect your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this inner conversation serving me? Is it leading me closer to the reality I want to create? If the answer is no, make a conscious choice to change it. This might involve affirming a new thought or visualizing a different outcome. One of the biggest challenges in controlling your inner conversations is overcoming self-doubt. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you're not good enough or that your desires are out of reach. But these are just stories your mind is telling you, and you have the power to change them. Whenever self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself that you are the creator of your reality. You have the ability to shape your life through the thoughts you entertain. Replace doubt with faith in yourself and in the power of the universe to support you. Your inner conversations also influence how you interact with the world around you. When you have a positive internal dialogue, you show up differently in your relationships, your work, and your daily life. You exude confidence, optimism, and calm, which in turn attracts more positive experiences. People are drawn to your energy, and opportunities seem to flow to you effortlessly. On the other hand, if your inner conversations are filled with negativity or self-criticism, you will project that energy into the world, and it will be reflected back to you. One of the most profound shifts that happens when you control your inner conversations is that you begin to live in alignment with your desires, rather than in opposition to them. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own dreams through negative self-talk. They focus on the obstacles, the reasons why something can't happen, or the fear of failure. This creates resistance and blocks the flow of positive energy into their lives. But when you choose to speak to yourself in a way that aligns with your desires, you remove those blocks and allow the universe to work in your favor. Remember, your inner conversations are not just private musings, they are a powerful form of communication with the universe. Every thought, every word, every internal dialogue is a request for what you want to experience in life. If you want to manifest abundance, joy, love, or success, your inner conversations must reflect those desires. You cannot expect to create a life of abundance if your mind is constantly focused on lack. You cannot manifest love if your inner dialogue is filled with self-doubt or unworthiness. The universe responds to the energy you emit, and your inner conversations are the foundation of that energy. As you continue to practice controlling your inner conversations, you will notice a shift not only in your external reality but also in your sense of inner peace. Negative thoughts and self-talk create inner turmoil and stress. But when you choose empowering inner conversations, you cultivate a sense of calm and confidence. You become more resilient in the face of challenges because you trust in your ability to shape your reality. You know that no matter what happens, you have the power to choose how you respond, both internally and externally. Controlling your inner conversations is a transformative practice that empowers you to take charge of your life. By becoming aware of your thoughts, consciously choosing empowering inner dialogues, and aligning your self-talk with your desires, you create a reality that reflects your highest potential. Your inner conversations are the key to manifesting the life you truly want, and with consistent practice, you can harness their power to create a life filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Acting as if you already are who you want to be is one of the most powerful principles in transforming your life. This concept might sound simple, yet it is deeply profound in its impact on your reality. It challenges you to live from the state of your desired self, not just hoping for change but embodying it in every action, thought, and feeling. By acting as if you are already the person you wish to become, you send a clear message to your subconscious mind and the universe that you are ready to receive the life you desire. It's an act of faith, and through this faith, you bridge the gap between your current self and your ideal self. One of the fundamental truths of life is that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. This means that how you feel about yourself and your circumstances will inevitably shape the experiences you attract. If you continue to act and think from a place of lack, limitation, or doubt, your reality will mirror those states. However, if you begin to act as if you are already living your ideal life, you start aligning yourself with the energy of that reality. The outer world must then conform to reflect this inner shift. The first step in acting as if you already are who you want to be is to get clear on who that version of you is. What does your ideal self look like, feel like, and think like? What kind of life are they living? What kind of choices do they make? To truly embody this version of yourself, you must have a clear mental image of who you wish to become. It's not enough to simply wish for change. You must step into that identity fully and begin living from that place right now. One way to do this is to practice visualization. Spend time each day imagining yourself as the person you want to be. See yourself living the life of your dreams with all the confidence, success, joy, and abundance that comes with it. Feel the emotions that accompany this vision. What does it feel like to already have what you desire? As you immerse yourself in these feelings, you are training your subconscious mind to accept this new reality as true. The more vividly you can imagine and feel yourself as your ideal self, the more natural it will become to act from that place in your daily life. Once you have a clear vision of your ideal self, the next step is to begin embodying that version of yourself in your everyday actions. This doesn't mean faking it or pretending to be something you're not. It means stepping into the mindset and behaviors of your ideal self, even if your external circumstances haven't fully caught up yet. For example, if your desired self is someone who is confident and successful, start carrying yourself with that confidence today. Walk with your head held high, speak with assurance, and make decisions from a place of empowerment. Your actions are a direct reflection of your beliefs about yourself. If you continue to act from a place of insecurity or self-doubt, you reinforce those limiting beliefs. But when you begin to act as if you are already successful, confident, or abundant, you start to reprogram your subconscious mind with these new beliefs. Over time, your outer reality will shift to match the new identity you have embraced. It's important to recognize that acting as if you already are who you want to be requires consistency and commitment. You may not see immediate changes in your external circumstances, but that doesn't mean the process isn't working. The universe responds to the energy you put out, and when you consistently show up as your ideal self, you are aligning with the reality you want to create. It's about living in the end, trusting that the transformation is happening, even if it's not yet visible. One of the biggest obstacles people face when trying to act as if they are already who they want to be is the temptation to focus on their current limitations. It's easy to get caught up in the present reality and feel discouraged by what seems to be missing. However, the key to this practice is not allowing your current circumstances to dictate how you feel or act. Instead, you must remain steadfast in your belief that you are already the person you want to be, regardless of what your external world looks like. This requires a shift in perspective. Rather than reacting to your current reality, you are proactively creating a new one. A helpful way to reinforce this practice is through affirmations. Positive affirmations are a powerful tool for reprogramming your subconscious mind and aligning with your ideal self. Create affirmations that reflect the qualities and experiences of the person you want to become. For example, if your ideal self is someone who is financially abundant, you might say, "I am financially free and abundant." If your desired self is someone who is deeply loved and cherished, affirm, "I am worthy of love and I attract loving relationships." Repeat these affirmations daily and speak them with conviction, as if they are already true. Another essential aspect of acting as if you are already who you want to be is to let go of the need to control how and when your desires will manifest. Trust that by embodying your ideal self, you are naturally attracting the experiences and opportunities that align with that version of you. The universe works in mysterious and sometimes unexpected ways, and your job is not to micromanage the process, but to remain faithful to the end result. When you act from a place of certainty and belief in your new reality, you open yourself up to receive it in ways you might not have imagined. It's also important to surround yourself with people, environments, and influences that support your new identity. If you're trying to act as if you are already successful, but you're constantly surrounded by negativity or people who doubt you, it can be challenging to stay aligned with your vision. Seek out relationships and situations that uplift and inspire you. Surround yourself with those who encourage your growth and believe in your potential. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your beliefs and behaviors, so be intentional about curating one that supports the person you are becoming. Remember that acting as if you are already who you want to be is not about perfection. You may have moments of doubt or fall back into old patterns, and that's okay. The important thing is to remain committed to the practice and to gently bring yourself back to the state of your ideal self when you notice yourself slipping. Growth is a process, and every step you take toward embodying your desired self is a step closer to manifesting your dream life. Acting as if you already are who you want to be is a transformative practice that allows you to align with the life you desire. By embodying the thoughts, feelings, and actions of your ideal self, you send a powerful message to the universe that you are ready to receive all that you desire. This practice requires faith, consistency, and a willingness to let go of your current limitations. But as you continue to live from the state of your desired self, you will begin to see your outer world shift to match the inner transformation that has taken place. Setting clear intentions daily is a transformative habit that can elevate every aspect of your life. It's the practice of consciously deciding how you want your day to unfold, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with a purpose that moves you closer to your goals. Clear intentions are not just random wishes or vague desires, they are focused, specific, and grounded in the vision of your highest self. By setting intentions each day, you take control of your energy, your mindset, and ultimately your reality. One of the most powerful things about intentions is that they direct your attention. Where your attention goes, energy flows. If you begin your day without a clear intention, your mind will likely be scattered, pulled in many directions by external forces or distractions. You may find yourself reacting to circumstances, rather than proactively creating the experiences you want. But when you set an intention, you give your mind a focus, something to work toward, something to align your actions with. It's like programming your internal GPS, guiding you toward your desired destination with clarity and purpose. The process of setting intentions begins with self-awareness. Before you can decide how you want your day to go, you need to check in with yourself. What do you want to feel today? What do you want to accomplish? What kind of energy do you want to bring into your interactions? Take a few moments in the morning or even the night before to get quiet and tune in to your inner self. Listen to the subtle guidance of your intuition and let it inform your intention for the day. This could be an intention for peace, productivity, connection, abundance, or any other quality that feels aligned with your current goals and desires. The key to setting a powerful intention is to make it specific and actionable. Rather than setting a vague intention like "I want to have a good day," you might set an intention like "I intend to approach every challenge today with calm and confidence," or "I intend to focus on completing 3 important tasks that will move me closer to my goals." The more specific your intention, the easier it is for your mind to align with it, and for you to recognize opportunities to act on it throughout the day. In addition to being specific, your intention should also be emotionally resonant. It's not just about what you want to do, but how you want to feel while doing it. The emotional tone of your intention is what will keep you connected to it throughout the day. For example, if your intention is to be productive, what's the feeling behind that? Is it a sense of accomplishment, focus, or fulfillment? If your intention is to cultivate peace, what does that feel like in your body and mind? By connecting your intention to a feeling, you engage not just your mind, but your entire being in the process of bringing it to life. Once you set your intention, it's important to hold it lightly. This doesn't mean being indifferent or passive, but rather allowing room for flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and while intentions are powerful, they are not about controlling every detail of your day. Instead, they provide a guide, a compass to keep you on track. If things don't go exactly as planned, you can still return to the feeling behind your intention and adjust your actions accordingly. For example, if your intention is to stay calm and confident in the face of challenges, but an unexpected problem arises, you can remind yourself of that intention and choose to respond from a place of calm, rather than reacting with stress or frustration. The practice of setting clear intentions also fosters a sense of personal responsibility. It reminds you that you are the creator of your experience. While you cannot control everything that happens in your day, you can control how you respond, how you direct your energy, and what you focus on. By setting intentions, you step into the role of an active participant in your life, rather than a passive observer. You take ownership of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, knowing that they are shaping your reality moment by moment. An important aspect of setting intentions is to do so from a place of possibility, not limitation. When setting your intention for the day, focus on what you want to experience or achieve, not what you want to avoid. For instance, instead of setting an intention like "I don't want to be stressed today," you could reframe it as "I intend to stay centered and calm throughout my day." Focusing on the positive outcome helps to create a sense of expansiveness and invites the universe to support you in manifesting that outcome. Intentions also work best when they are aligned with your deeper values and long-term goals. While daily intentions can be small and specific, they should ultimately connect to the bigger picture of who you are becoming. For example, if one of your long-term goals is to live a life of abundance, your daily intentions might include actions or mindsets that support that vision, such as "I intend to express gratitude for all the abundance in my life," or "I intend to take one step today toward my financial goals." When your daily intentions are aligned with your broader vision, you create a sense of continuity and momentum that carries you forward. The magic of setting clear intentions daily is that it cultivates a sense of purpose and direction. When you wake up in the morning with a clear intention, you're not just going through the motions of life. You're living with intention. Each day becomes an opportunity to move closer to your dreams, to grow into the person you want to be, and to experience life in a way that feels aligned and fulfilling. Even on the days when things don't go as planned, the act of setting an intention grounds you, giving you something to come back to, a touchstone for how you want to show up in the world. To deepen the practice of setting intentions, you can combine it with visualization or meditation. As you set your intention for the day, close your eyes and visualize yourself living it out. See yourself moving through your day with the energy, focus, or mindset that your intention represents. Feel the emotions that come with it. This not only reinforces your intention, but also primes your subconscious mind to help you manifest it. The more vividly you can imagine yourself living in alignment with your intention, the more real it becomes. At the end of the day, take a moment to reflect on how your intention influenced your actions and experiences. Did you stay aligned with your intention? Were there moments when you strayed from it? What can you learn from those moments? By reflecting on your intentions each day, you strengthen your ability to set and follow through on them. Over time, this practice becomes a powerful tool for self-mastery, helping you to consistently show up as the best version of yourself. Setting clear intentions daily is a simple yet transformative practice that can profoundly change the way you experience life. It allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters, align your actions with your highest self, and live each day with purpose and clarity. Through the power of intention, you become the conscious creator of your reality, steering your life toward greater fulfillment, growth, and success. Detaching from the outcome is one of the most liberating and powerful habits you can cultivate when working towards your desires and dreams. It is a mindset that allows you to fully commit to your intentions, while simultaneously releasing the need for a specific result to manifest in a particular way or time frame. Many people mistakenly believe that intense focus and constant fixation on the outcome are necessary to achieve their goals, but in truth, attachment can often hinder the manifestation process. Detachment, on the other hand, allows space for things to unfold naturally and in alignment with the greater flow of life. At its core, Detachment is about trusting the process, trusting the universe, and trusting that what is meant for you will come to you in the perfect time and form. When you are overly attached to a specific outcome, you can become fixated on how things should happen, which leads to frustration, anxiety, and disappointment when they don't unfold according to your expectations. This attachment places you in a state of resistance, where you are constantly checking for results, doubting the process, and allowing your happiness to be contingent upon external circumstances. In contrast, detaching from the outcome allows you to let go of this resistance and step into a state of flow. It doesn't mean giving up on your desires or becoming indifferent to your goals. Rather, it means releasing the need to control every aspect of how your desires will manifest. By doing so, you create space for the universe to work its magic in ways that might surprise you, ways that are often better and more aligned with your highest good than you could have planned for yourself. The practice of detachment begins with a deep sense of knowing that what you seek is already on its way to you. When you set an intention or desire, the universe begins to rearrange itself to bring that into your reality. However, the exact path or timeline for its manifestation is often beyond our human understanding. Detachment means trusting this unseen process and having faith that what you desire will come to fruition, even if you cannot yet see the evidence. This trust allows you to release any anxious attachment to outcomes and instead focus on living in the present moment. One of the challenges many people face when practicing detachment is the fear that letting go of control means they won't get what they want. But in reality, it's the opposite. By detaching, you remove the blocks of fear, doubt, and impatience that often delay or sabotage the manifestation process. Imagine holding a delicate flower in your hand. If you squeeze it too tightly, you crush it. But if you hold it gently, it flourishes. The same principle applies to your desires. When you cling to them with desperation, you suffocate the natural flow of energy. When you release the need to control every detail, you allow the space for your desires to blossom effortlessly. Another important aspect of detachment is understanding that the outcome may look different from what you initially envisioned, and that's okay. Often we get attached to very specific ideas of what success or fulfillment should look like, but these ideas are limited by our current perspective. The universe, on the other hand, operates from a much broader, infinite perspective and can deliver results in ways we never could have imagined. Detaching from the outcome allows you to remain open to these unexpected opportunities and blessings, which may be even better than what you originally asked for. One way to cultivate detachment is to focus on the process rather than the result. Instead of constantly checking whether your manifestation is coming to fruition, direct your energy toward what you can do in the present moment. Engage fully with the steps you are taking toward your goal and find joy in the journey itself. For example, if you are working toward a career goal, instead of obsessing over when the promotion will come or when you land your dream job, focus on honing your skills, enjoying your current role, and showing up with excellence each day. When you find fulfillment in the process, the outcome becomes less of a source of anxiety because you're already experiencing success in the now. Another powerful way to practice detachment is through gratitude. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude for what you already have, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. Attachment often arises from a sense of lack or fear that we won't get what we want. But when you are grateful for the present moment and all that it holds, you release that fear. You affirm to yourself that you are already abundant, and this naturally leads to a state of detachment. You no longer need the outcome to complete you, because you are already whole. Detachment also requires a level of emotional resilience. When you are attached to an outcome, any deviation from your expectations can lead to emotional turmoil, feelings of frustration, disappointment, or even failure. But when you are detached, you are able to maintain your inner peace and equilibrium regardless of external circumstances. This doesn't mean you won't experience challenges or setbacks, but rather that you won't allow them to disrupt your sense of well-being. You'll be able to observe these challenges from a place of calm and adapt to them without losing sight of your ultimate vision. A helpful practice in cultivating detachment is affirming to yourself daily that everything is always working out for me. This simple affirmation reinforces the belief that, no matter what happens, the universe is conspiring in your favor. It reminds you that even when things don't seem to be going according to plan, they are still working out in ways that are aligned with your highest good. This mindset shift allows you to release your grip on the outcome and trust that, in the grand scheme of things, everything is unfolding perfectly. Another important element of detachment is releasing the need for external validation. Often we become attached to outcomes because we seek approval or recognition from others. We want to prove our worth or success through visible achievements. But true detachment comes from an inner sense of worthiness that isn't dependent on outside opinions or accomplishments. When you know that you are inherently worthy, you no longer need the outcome to validate your value. You can pursue your goals with passion and purpose, but without the pressure of needing them to define you. Detaching from the outcome also means releasing the timeline. One of the most common sources of frustration in the manifestation process is impatience. We want our desires to manifest immediately, and when they don't, we start to doubt whether they ever will. But the universe operates on divine timing, which often doesn't align with our human schedules. Detachment requires letting go of the need for instant results and trusting that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. This doesn't mean you stop taking action toward your goals, but rather that you release the stress of trying to force things to happen before they're ready. Ultimately, detaching from the outcome is about reclaiming your power. When you are no longer fixated on a specific result, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of highs and lows that come with attachment. You become the master of your own energy, able to stay grounded, peaceful, and aligned with your highest self, regardless of external circumstances. Detachment allows you to live in a state of flow, where you are open to receiving all the abundance, joy, and opportunities that the universe has in store for you. Detaching from the outcome is a practice of trust, surrender, and faith in the process of life. It frees you from the need to control every detail and allows you to align with the natural flow of the universe. By releasing attachment, you create space for your desires to manifest in ways that are often better than you could have imagined. You open yourself up to new possibilities, and you maintain your inner peace, knowing that everything is always working out for your highest good. Embracing silence is a practice that goes beyond simply avoiding noise or external distractions. It is about cultivating an inner stillness that allows you to connect deeply with yourself and the vast intelligence of the universe. In the modern world, filled with constant chatter, notifications, and the ceaseless demands of daily life, silence can feel like an unfamiliar or even uncomfortable experience. Yet, it is in the quiet moments of silence that profound transformation occurs. Silence offers a space where the mind can rest, where thoughts can settle, and where the truth of your being can rise to the surface. In silence, there is no need to explain, justify, or prove anything. You are simply present, fully aware of the moment, and open to the wisdom that emerges from within. When you embrace silence, you invite clarity and insight into your life, allowing answers to come from the depth of your own consciousness, rather than from external sources. One of the most powerful aspects of silence is its ability to reconnect you with your inner voice. We are constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and advice from the outside world, often drowning out the quiet, subtle voice of intuition. By creating space for silence in your life, you give yourself the opportunity to hear that inner guidance more clearly. This voice is always there, but it requires stillness to be heard. In moments of silence, you can tune into your true desires, align with your higher self, and gain a sense of direction that is uniquely yours. Embracing silence also has the power to deepen your relationship with the present moment. In our fast-paced lives, we are often so focused on the future or the past that we miss the beauty and richness of the now. Silence invites you to be fully present, to experience life as it is unfolding in this moment. When you are silent, you are not preoccupied with what's next or what has already happened. You are simply here, observing, feeling, and being. This presence is a gift, for it allows you to experience life in its fullness, without distraction or distortion. Silence is also a powerful tool for reflection and self-awareness. In the absence of external noise, you can more easily observe your thoughts, emotions, and patterns. You begin to notice the stories you tell yourself, the beliefs you hold, and the ways in which you may be unconsciously limiting yourself. Through silent reflection, you gain insight into your inner world, which is the first step toward transformation. As you become more aware of your inner dialogue, you can consciously choose which thoughts to nurture and which ones to release. Moreover, silence helps cultivate patience and emotional resilience. In silence, there is no urgency, no need for immediate action or reaction. You learn to sit with your emotions, to allow them to pass without being overwhelmed by them. This patience creates space for you to respond to life's challenges from a place of calm and centeredness, rather than reacting impulsively out of fear or frustration. Over time, embracing silence strengthens your ability to remain grounded and composed, even in the midst of chaos or uncertainty. In addition, silence is a gateway to deeper spiritual connection. Whether you meditate, pray, or simply sit in stillness, silence creates an opening for communion with the divine. It is in silence that you can feel the presence of something greater than yourself, whether you call it God, the universe, or infinite intelligence. This connection is not something that can be explained in words. It is felt, experienced, and known in the depths of your being. In silence, you align with the eternal flow of life, and you remember your true nature as a spiritual being having a human experience. Incorporating moments of silence into your daily life doesn't require a major lifestyle change. You can start small by setting aside just a few minutes each day to sit in stillness. Over time, you can extend these moments, allowing them to become a regular part of your routine. You may choose to practice meditation, go for a quiet walk in nature, or simply sit in a peaceful space without distractions. Whatever form it takes, the key is to embrace the silence fully, without expectation or judgment. Embracing silence is a transformative practice that allows you to reconnect with your inner self, cultivate mindfulness, and deepen your spiritual connection. It creates space for clarity, insight, and emotional resilience, helping you navigate life's challenges with greater ease and grace. In a world filled with constant noise and distraction, silence is a refuge, a place where you can return to your true self and experience the peace that comes from within. Persisting in your belief is the cornerstone of manifesting the life you desire. It is the unwavering faith that, no matter what obstacles or delays arise, your vision will come to fruition. Belief is the fuel that keeps your intentions alive, even when external circumstances seem to contradict your inner desires. This persistence isn't about forcing outcomes or being rigid. Rather, it's about maintaining a steady, calm conviction that what you seek is already on its way to you. In the journey toward your goals, doubts will inevitably creep in. There will be moments where the manifestation of your desires feels distant or unlikely. This is when persistence in your belief becomes critical. You must remind yourself that your thoughts and feelings are powerful creators of your thoughts. You are continuously shaping the world around you. Persistence in belief requires consistency. It's about reaffirming your desires daily and not letting momentary setbacks sway you from the ultimate goal. The universe responds to your consistent inner state, not to fleeting wishes or doubts. The more steadfast you are in your belief, the more aligned your actions, thoughts, and emotions will become with that belief, bringing your desires closer to reality. The most important aspect of persistence is trusting the process, even when the path seems unclear. Sometimes the universe may take you on a detour or delay the manifestation, not to deny your desires, but to prepare you for something even greater. Keep your focus on the end result, not the how or when. By persisting in your belief, you maintain the inner strength and certainty that will eventually draw your desires into your life, regardless of external appearances. Reframing failure as feedback is a transformative mindset shift that can significantly impact your personal and professional growth. When we experience failure, the natural instinct is often to view it as a negative outcome, a reflection of our inadequacies, or a sign that we should abandon our pursuits. However, when you choose to see failure as feedback, you unlock a powerful tool for learning and improvement. Failure, in this context, becomes a valuable teacher. Each setback provides insights into what didn't work and why, guiding you toward a more informed approach in the future. Instead of being paralyzed by disappointment or fear, you can analyze your experiences with curiosity and openness. This shift in perspective encourages you to ask constructive questions. What can I learn from this? What adjustments can I make moving forward? This mindset cultivates resilience and adaptability, two essential qualities for achieving long-term success. Moreover, reframing failure as feedback allows you to detach your self-worth from your outcomes. You are not defined by your mistakes, rather you are defined by your ability to respond to them. By embracing failure as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, you foster a growth-oriented mindset. This perspective empowers you to take risks, innovate, and explore new possibilities without the fear of being judged for you. Ultimately, viewing failure as feedback creates a culture of continuous learning in your life. It encourages experimentation and exploration, leading to greater creativity and innovation. Each time you encounter failure, you are not just one step back. You are gathering essential information that propels you forward on your journey towards success. By embracing this mindset, you cultivate a path of growth that transforms setbacks into powerful opportunities for self-discovery and advancement. In conclusion, the journey to transforming your life through small habits is a profound exploration of self-discovery, growth, and resilience. Each habit we've discussed, from visualizing your desired life to reframing failure as feedback, serves as a building block for a more empowered existence. By embracing these practices, you not only cultivate a mindset that aligns with your deepest desires, but also create a life infused with purpose and intention. As you visualize your desired life, speak as if your dreams have already manifested, and live with gratitude for the unseen. You tap into the immense power of your thoughts and emotions. By controlling your inner conversations and acting as if you are already who you want to be, You send a clear signal to the universe about your intentions. Setting clear intentions daily and detaching from outcomes allows you to remain open to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. Moreover, embracing silence creates a sacred space for reflection and connection with your inner self, fostering clarity and peace. Finally, persisting in your belief and reframing failure as feedback equip you with the resilience needed to navigate life's challenges. You learn that setbacks are not roadblocks, but valuable lessons that guide you toward your ultimate goals. By integrating these habits into your daily life, you become the architect of your reality, creating a life that resonates with your true essence. Remember, transformation does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process of aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your highest self. Embrace each step along the way, knowing that with each small habit you adopt, you are moving closer to the life you desire. Trust in the journey, for it is in the pursuit of your dreams that you uncover the extraordinary potential within. There are moments in life when we face loss, when we encounter the inevitable challenges that test our faith and resilience. It is in those times when something precious slips through our fingers that we may feel as though our world has crumbled. We hold tightly to what was, believing that we are incomplete without it. We mourn and grieve, not realizing that loss often carries the seed of a greater transformation. For when one door closes, another, far more magnificent, opens. What you lose is merely a stepping stone towards what God has destined for you. You see, the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has already set in motion the arrival of something far greater, something more aligned with your true purpose. The divine knows exactly what you need, even when you cannot see it. Understand this: when God's replacement arrives, you will be so filled with gratitude and awe that you will forget what you once held dear. What you thought you needed will pale in comparison to the new chapter that unfolds before you. The essence of life is about alignment, and God, in His perfect wisdom, always replaces what is lost with something far more fitting for the person you are becoming. It's not about the thing you lost, but about the space that loss has created in your life, allowing for something even more extraordinary to take its place. When you allow your heart to be open to the divine, trusting that everything happens in divine timing, you begin to witness the miracles that unfold. What seemed like a devastating loss becomes the very catalyst for the greatness that is coming. Imagine a seed that is buried deep in the earth, seemingly abandoned. The seed is dark, and it may feel trapped, but it is in that darkness that growth begins. With patience and trust in the process, that seed eventually breaks through the soil, revealing its true beauty, a beauty that could never have been seen without the seed first experiencing the darkness. Likewise, you must let go of what is behind you. The past does not define you, it is simply a part of the journey. The divine plan is always unfolding in perfect order, even when you cannot see it. And when the replacement comes, when the thing you were meant to receive arrives, you will recognize it instantly. It will feel like home. You will marvel at how perfectly it fits into your life, and you will realize in that very moment that all of the loss, all of the heartache was necessary. What you lost was never meant to be yours forever. What you gain is the divine promise fulfilled. Trust the process. Trust that the divine is not only aware of your needs, but is actively working to bring you what you need. When the replacement arrives, you will look back at the past and understand that the pain, the tears, and the struggles were not in vain. They were all part of the preparation for something so much greater. And when it happens, you will forget, not because the past didn't matter, but because what you have now is so profoundly aligned with your soul's deepest desires that there is no room for the old. God does not replace things randomly. He replaces them with purpose. The divine always knows what is in store for you. In every loss there is a gift, and in every transition there is a blessing. And as the new begins to take form in your life, the old will simply fade away, not out of rejection, but out of evolution. You have grown, you have evolved, and now the new is here, ready to take you to places you never even dreamed possible. So trust that the divine plan is unfolding perfectly. Allow the space for what has been lost to make room for the replacement. It will come, and when it does, you will no longer mourn what was. Instead, you will give thanks, for you will see that what you received was precisely what you needed all along. It will not just replace what was lost, it will elevate you, transforming your life in ways beyond imagination. And in that moment, you will know that the loss was never a setback, but a divine setup for your greatest breakthrough. Loss is an illusion when viewed through the eyes of the divine. It is not the end of a chapter, but the unfolding of a new one. The human mind, conditioned to grasp and cling, often resists this truth. We hold on to relationships, jobs, identities and circumstances, believing they define us, believing they are irreplaceable. And when they are taken away, when life shifts in ways we did not anticipate, we grieve, we resist, and we ask, why? But what if loss was never meant to harm you? What if it was the universe's way of clearing space for something beyond your imagination? What if, instead of seeing absence, you saw preparation? Because when the replacement from God arrives, it will carry a presence so complete, so fulfilling, that you will not just move on, you will transform. The divine never takes without giving in greater measure. Every shift, every removal, every seeming setback is a repositioning. You are not losing, you are being aligned. But in order to receive what is meant for you, there must first be a surrender. A deep trust that what is unfolding is not against you but for you. Often we mistake attachment for love, routine for stability, and comfort for purpose. We cry over closed doors, unaware that what is behind them no longer serves the person we are becoming. We dwell on the past, failing to recognize that it is just that, the past, and the past cannot contain the future. The moment you begin to trust this truth is the moment you step into freedom. Look back at your life. How many things have you lost that you once thought you could not live without? How many situations have you outgrown, though at the time you fought to keep them? And how many times has something greater arrived in their place, proving that what you once mourned was never meant to stay? The divine does not operate in loss. The divine operates in expansion. When one thing is removed, it is only so something far greater can take its place. But you must be willing to let go. You must release the need to control, to question, to hold on out of fear that nothing better will come, because better always comes. The universe does not work in lack, it works in abundance. Everything that has left your life has fulfilled its purpose. That person, that job, that opportunity, they played their role in your story, but they were never the final chapter. Their departure was not a mistake. It was not a punishment. It was a divine orchestration, a sacred transition into the next level of your being. And when the replacement arrives, you will see why it had to happen the way it did. You will understand why things could not remain the same. The new will fit so perfectly, so effortlessly, that you will no longer question the loss. The very thing you once held on to will become a distant memory. Not because it didn't matter, but because what you have gained matters more. Imagine a child holding onto a small toy, gripping it with all their might, unwilling to let go. In their mind, it is everything. It is comfort, it is security, it is joy. But the parent, knowing better, holds in their other hand something far greater, a gift beyond the child's understanding. Yet the child refuses to release what is in their grasp. They cry, they resist. They believe they are being deprived. Only when they let go, when they finally surrender what they thought they needed, do they receive what was meant for them all along. And the moment they do, the old is forgotten. The pain of letting go disappears, replaced by the joy of something far greater. You are that child, we all are, holding on to what was, afraid to release, afraid to trust. But the divine is always holding something greater, something beyond our comprehension. And it is only when we loosen our grip, when we open our hands and our hearts, that we receive. When the replacement comes, you will not be left with regret. You will not look back and wish for what was. You will step forward, fully immersed in the beauty of what is, knowing with certainty that this was always meant to be. Every transition, every shift, every perceived loss is simply the turning of a page in the story of your life. Do not fear the unknown. Do not resist the change. The same force that created the stars, that orchestrates the rising and setting of the sun, is the same force guiding your life. It knows what you need before you do. It sees the path ahead while you are still looking behind, and in perfect timing, it replaces what has been lost with something so magnificent, so aligned, that the past becomes irrelevant. Think of the caterpillar that believes its world has ended when it enters the cocoon. It cannot see the wings forming, the transformation taking place within. It only knows darkness. It only knows that what was familiar is no longer there. And yet in that very moment, something miraculous is happening. The struggle is not a punishment. It is the process of becoming. And when the transformation is complete, when the cocoon finally breaks open, the caterpillar is gone. In its place is something new, something that has forgotten what it felt like to crawl, because now it has wings. Now it soars. That is the nature of divine replacement. It does not just give you back what you lost, it elevates you, it turns you into something you never thought you could be. It gives you wings where you once had none. And when you finally step into that new reality, when you embrace the fullness of what has come, the past will no longer hold power over you, the pain will dissolve, the memories will fade, and what once felt like loss will reveal itself as the greatest blessing. Trust the process. Trust that nothing is ever truly lost, only exchanged for something greater. Trust that the divine knows what it is doing. Let go of the need to question, to understand every detail, to mourn what was never meant to stay. Because what is coming is so much greater than what was. And when it arrives, you will not just move on, you will rise. You will step into a new level of existence, where what was once missing is now overflowing, where what you once longed for is now surpassed by something beyond your wildest dreams. And in that moment you will know that you were never abandoned, never forsaken. You were being prepared, positioned, and perfected for something far greater, and now it is here. There is no true loss in the divine order. There is only transformation, only the unfolding of a higher reality, one that the limited mind cannot yet comprehend. The moment you believe you have lost something, you have already placed yourself in a state of separation, believing that what you had was the source of your fulfillment. But what if fulfillment was never meant to come from the external? What if everything you needed was always within you, waiting for the perfect moment to be revealed? When the replacement from God arrives, you will not just receive what you thought you lost, you will receive the revelation that you were never lacking to begin with. The mind clings to what is familiar, mistaking it for security. It fears change, even when change is the very thing that carries us forward. But there is no true security in holding on to the past. What is meant to stay will stay effortlessly. What is meant to leave will leave, no matter how tightly you hold on. And if it leaves, it is because it has already served its purpose in your life. The pain of losing is not the pain of absence. It is the pain of resistance. It is the refusal to see that what has been removed has only made space for something greater. How many times have you feared the loss of something only to later realize that it was never truly meant for you? How many times have you mourned the end of a chapter only to find that the next one held more joy, more love, more abundance than you could have imagined? The human mind, bound by time and perception, cannot see what the divine has already prepared. It only sees what is missing. It sees the empty hands, not realizing that those same hands are being prepared to receive something far greater. When the replacement comes, it will not just fill the space of what was lost, it will expand your entire being. You will not just be restored to what you were before the loss, you will be elevated into a version of yourself that could not have existed without the transformation. That is the nature of divine replacement. It does not simply return what was taken. It creates anew. It builds upon what was, shaping you into something stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the fullness of your destiny. Think of the tree that sheds its leaves in the autumn. To the untrained eye, it appears as though the tree is dying, as though it is losing something vital. But the tree knows better. It does not fight the process, nor does it cling to what is falling away. It surrenders to the wisdom of the seasons, trusting that what is being removed is making way for new growth. And when the time is right, the new leaves arrive, not as a mere replacement, but as something entirely new, fresh and vibrant. The tree is not just restored, it is renewed. So it is with you. What you believe you have lost is only the shedding of what no longer serves you. It is only the divine pruning your life, making room for what is meant to grow in its place. But you must trust the process. You must resist the urge to cling to what is fading, to mourn what was never meant to be permanent. Because the moment you release, the moment you surrender to the unfolding of your divine path, is the moment you make space for what is coming. You will forget what you lost, not because it was unimportant, but because what you gain will be so complete, so perfectly aligned, that it will eclipse every shadow of the past. The love you thought was irreplaceable will be replaced by something deeper, truer, something that reflects the wholeness of who you are now, not who you were then. The opportunities you thought had passed you by will be replaced by doors that lead to places you never dreamed possible. The dreams you thought had died will be resurrected in forms so beautiful, so abundant, that you will no longer question why the old ones had to fall away. There is no coincidence in divine timing. Every delay, every detour, every seeming setback is simply the universe aligning you with what is truly yours. What is meant for you will not pass you by, but sometimes before you can receive, you must be emptied. You must be willing to stand in the unknown, to release what no longer aligns, to trust that even in the space of seeming loss, something miraculous is happening. There will come a moment when you look back and realize that what you once longed for is no longer relevant, that what you once cried over is now a distant memory, not because it did not matter, but because it has been surpassed by something far greater. This is the work of the divine. This is the beauty of divine replacement. It does not just give you back what you lost, it makes you new. It shapes you into someone who no longer needs what was lost, because what has come is so much greater. Think of a river that carves its way through the landscape. It does not mourn the rocks that once stood in its path. It does not resist the shifting of its course. It flows, trusting the movement, knowing that every twist and turn is part of the journey. The river never questions where it is going, and yet it always arrives exactly where it is meant to be. You are the river. Your life is flowing exactly as it should, and every change, every loss, every transition is simply the unfolding of your divine path. There will be a day when you stand in the presence of what has replaced what you thought you lost, and in that moment you will understand. You will see the wisdom in every closed door, in every unanswered prayer, in every tear you shed. You will know, beyond all doubt, that nothing was ever truly lost. It was only exchanged for something higher, something beyond what your human mind could have conceived. And in that moment you will not only forget what you lost, you will bless it. You will thank it for leading you here, to this place, to this version of yourself that could not have existed without the journey. You are being prepared for something beyond what you can see. Every shift, every transition, every moment of uncertainty is simply the unfolding of a divine masterpiece. Trust it, embrace it, and when the replacement comes, when the new arrives, you will not mourn the old. You will step fully into the present, into the beauty of what has been given, knowing that this was always meant to be. When you step into the divine flow of life, you begin to see that nothing is truly permanent unless it is meant to be. The mind often clings to the idea that something is forever, and when that something is taken away, we feel abandoned, lost, and unsure of what to do next. But these feelings of abandonment are rooted in the illusion of lack. The truth is that life is always in motion, always in transition, and the divine order is ever present, shaping and forming you into the most complete version of yourself. When you lose, it is not a sign of punishment, nor is it a sign that you are unworthy. It is simply a sign that the universe is ready to provide you with something more, something better, something that aligns more deeply with who you are now. Imagine yourself as a sculptor. You begin with a block of stone, and through each chisel, each strike, the stone is slowly shaped into something beautiful. But the stone does not mourn each piece that falls away. It does not resist the carving process. It trusts that the sculptor knows what they are doing. And as the sculptor continues, the block is transformed into something greater than it could have ever been on its own. This is what the divine does with your life. It chips away at the parts that are no longer serving you, that are limiting your potential, and it reveals the divine masterpiece that is within you. It is in the shedding, in the letting go, that you are able to receive what is truly meant for you. This process of shedding can be difficult, and there may be moments when you question whether you are on the right path. It may seem as though everything is falling apart, that you are losing everything you once knew. But remember, it is not the end. It is simply the beginning of a new phase. The loss you experience is not a finality. It is a shift, a transition into something more expansive. If you hold on to the old, you are blocking the new from entering. If you focus on the absence, you are refusing to see the opportunity. The divine is never taking from you. It is making space for the new to flow into your life. The beauty of divine replacement lies in the fact that when it arrives, it will not be a mere copy of what you lost. It will be something entirely new, something uniquely suited to your current state of being. It will align with your deeper desires, your higher self, and your true purpose. And when you step into it, you will not feel as though you are filling a void. Instead, you will feel whole, complete, and at peace. The old will fade not because it was unimportant, but because the new holds a greater significance. You will forget what you lost, not out of disregard, but out of the overwhelming abundance of what you have gained. The divine works in ways that transcend human understanding. It does not move according to the rules of time and space that we are familiar with. It works on a level of perfection, orchestrating every moment, every interaction, every experience with precision. When you lose something, it is not random. It is part of a divine design that is leading you to the next step in your evolution. You may not see it now, but in time you will come to understand why things had to unfold the way they did. You'll see that every loss was part of a larger plan, a plan that was designed to bring you closer to your highest potential. In the moments when you feel the pain of loss, remind yourself that this is simply the divine clearing the way for something greater. The more you surrender to the process, the more you align yourself with the flow of life. When you fight the current, when you resist change, you only prolong the discomfort. But when you trust that the divine knows what it is doing, you allow yourself to be carried forward, to be shaped into the person you are meant to become. This trust is the key to unlocking the abundance and peace that is waiting for you on the other side. And when the replacement arrives, it will be in a form that resonates deeply with your soul. It will not be a compromise, it will be a divine match for who you are now, not who you were. It will fit so perfectly into your life that you will wonder how you ever lived without it. The old will fade away, not because it was insignificant, but because what has replaced it holds a higher vibration. It is a reflection of your growth, your transformation, and your willingness to trust the divine flow. There is a certain grace in the process of letting go, in allowing yourself to release what has been taken from you. When you hold on to something, you are tethered to the past. You are anchored in a time that no longer serves you. But when you let go, you free yourself to move forward, to embrace the future with open arms. The divine replacement is waiting for you, but it cannot arrive until you release what is no longer meant for you. You can release what is no longer meant for you. Once you do, you will find that the future is far more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. Life is a journey of constant change, and the more you embrace this fact, the more peaceful your journey will become. Each chapter, each phase brings with it a new opportunity for growth and transformation. You are never stuck in one place unless you choose to be. When you lose, you are not losing at all. You are being repositioned for the next phase of your journey. You are being aligned with a future that holds greater potential than you can currently see. The divine knows what is in store for you, and it is always working to bring you closer to your true self, your true purpose. As you allow the divine to guide you, you will come to see that loss is not something to fear. It is not something to avoid. It is simply part of the process of becoming. When you lose, you make space for the new. And when the new arrives, you will find that it is not just a replacement, it is a gift. It is a manifestation of your faith, your trust, and your willingness to surrender to the divine. You will forget what you lost, not because it was unimportant, but because it will no longer hold power over you. The new will fill you in ways that the old never could, and you will step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. Trust the process. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust that the divine knows what it is doing, and that what is being taken away is simply making space for something more aligned with your highest good. When the replacement comes, it will be everything you need and more. And when it arrives, you will no longer mourn the past. You will stand in awe of the beauty of what is, and you will be grateful for the divine orchestration that brought you to this place. Trust that the divine is always at work in your life, even when you cannot see the bigger picture. The universe, or God as some may call it, operates beyond the confines of human understanding. It is not bound by time, space, or human perception. The divine plan unfolds in its own perfect rhythm, and it is never too early, never too late. Every experience, every moment, is an integral part of a greater whole. The moments of loss, the moments of emptiness, are simply parts of the dance, setting the stage for the new to emerge. The replacements that the divine brings into your life are never mere coincidences or accidents. They are carefully placed, perfectly timed, and divinely orchestrated. They are not just random opportunities or replacements. They are miracles in disguise. When you begin to see life from this perspective, you realize that everything that happens is for your good. Even the things that seem devastating at first are merely stepping stones leading you to something greater. The divine is always ahead of you, working behind the scenes, guiding you toward the fulfillment of your deepest desires. In times of loss, it is easy to get caught up in the feeling of being deprived or rejected. You may feel as though the universe is against you, or that something is being taken away from you. But this is a fallacy. The truth is that nothing is ever truly lost, because life is always moving forward. What you perceive as loss is merely the process of something better coming into your life. The universe does not withhold anything from you. It only removes what is no longer in alignment with who you are becoming. What you have lost, you were meant to lose. What is coming to you, you were always meant to receive. When the divine replacement arrives, it will feel as though it was always meant for you. It will not be something foreign or unfamiliar. It will feel like a natural part of your journey. There will be a deep sense of peace and alignment as you welcome it into your life. You will no longer be searching for something to fill the void, because the void will have already been filled by the divine. The new will feel whole, complete, and perfect in a way that the old never could. You will no longer cling to the past, because the future will be so much brighter, so much more fulfilling. The old attachments, the old desires will simply fade into the background as the new replaces them. You will look back not with longing or regret, but with gratitude for the lessons you learned, the growth you experienced, and the strength you gained from the process. You will see that every step, every loss, was part of the divine plan that led you to this moment of completion. It is easy to become attached to the things we think we need, or the people we think we cannot live without. We often place our sense of worth, our sense of identity, in these external factors. But when we allow ourselves to be freed from these attachments, we open ourselves up to something greater. The divine does not want you to be dependent on anything or anyone outside of yourself. It wants you to recognize the power and potential within you, and to trust that you are worthy of all the blessings that the universe has to offer. When you surrender to the divine process, you stop resisting and start flowing. You stop trying to control every aspect of your life, and instead, you trust that the divine knows what is best for you. You release the need to hold on to things that no longer serve you, and you allow yourself to be carried by the current of life. And when you do this, you find that life becomes easier, more peaceful, and more fulfilling. You begin to attract the things that are in perfect alignment with your soul's purpose. When the replacement arrives, you will be ready to receive it because you will have done the internal work necessary to prepare for it. You will no longer be looking for external validation or trying to fill a void. You will be whole within yourself, and from that place of wholeness, you will be able to attract everything that you need. The divine works through you, not outside of you. The more you tap into your own inner wisdom, the more you align yourself with the divine, the more effortlessly everything in your life will begin to fall into place. The replacement is not a substitution for what you have lost. It is an upgrade. It is the next phase of your journey, a higher expression of who you are. And when it arrives, you will realize that it was always meant to be part of your story. You will see that everything that has happened, every loss, every setback, has brought you closer to this moment. You will understand that the divine was never taking from you. It was preparing you for something greater. In the same way that a gardener prunes a plant to encourage new growth, the divine removes the unnecessary, the outdated, the limiting, so that the new can blossom. You may not see it at the time, but the pruning is necessary for your growth. Without it, you would remain stuck, stagnant, and unable to fully step into the person you are meant to become. Once the pruning is complete, the new growth will come in its own time. And when it does, it will be so much more beautiful, vibrant, and fulfilling than what was there before. The replacement that comes will not only bring fulfillment in ways that the old could not, but it will also align you more deeply with your divine purpose. It will be a reflection of who you have become through the process of letting go and trusting in the divine. It will show you that you were never meant to stay in one place, and that every loss, every challenge was simply preparing you for the next stage of your journey. When you embrace this truth, you no longer have to fear loss. You no longer have to resist change. You can move forward with confidence, knowing that what is meant for you will always find its way to you. You no longer need to hold on to the past, because the future is already on its way. You can rest in the knowledge that the divine is always at work in your life, guiding you toward your highest good. And so as you continue on your journey, remember this: once the replacement from the divine arrives, you will forget what you lost, not because you no longer care, but because the new will be so much greater. It will fill your heart in ways you never imagined. It will satisfy your soul in ways that the old never could, and you will stand in awe of the divine process that brought you to this point. The divine is always at work, shaping your life in perfect alignment with your true self. Trust it, surrender to it, and know that the best is yet to come. As you walk this path, there will be moments when you find yourself questioning the journey, wondering if it's all worth it. But in these moments of doubt, I invite you to look inward and trust the wisdom that lies within. You are not alone in this. You are guided by a force far greater than anything you can comprehend. The divine, your higher self, God, however you choose to name it, is always with you, orchestrating every moment, every step. And with that realization, you can rest in the knowledge that you are exactly where you are meant to be, and that the replacement is already on its way. Think of your life as a vast ocean, where the waves represent the many experiences, challenges, and moments that you encounter. At times, the waves are high, and you may feel like you're drowning, unsure of how to stay afloat. In those moments, the only thing you need to do is trust the flow of the water. The ocean never fights against the tide, and neither should you. Just as the waves ebb and flow, so too does life. Nothing stays stagnant. Everything is always in motion, always moving towards something greater. When you let go of your need to control and resist, you find that the ocean carries you to exactly where you need to be. And as you surrender to this divine flow, you will find that the things you thought you couldn't live without are no longer as important. you will begin to see that they were never really the source of your happiness or fulfillment. You were always the source of your own peace, your own contentment. The replacement that the divine brings is not just something external, it is something internal. It shifts you from a place of dependency on external circumstances to a place of sovereignty and self-reliance. You realize that you can't lose what was truly meant for you, and that whatever comes into your life, whether it is in the form of a person, an opportunity, or a blessing, is only a reflection of the greatness that already resides within you. In those moments when you feel the void left by what you've lost, remember that the void is not permanent. It is simply the space that is being created for something new to come in. And when that new thing, that divine replacement, enters, you will no longer remember the emptiness. It will be filled so completely, so perfectly, that the past will seem like a distant memory. You will wonder why you ever mourned, why you ever felt lack or loss, because the abundance that arrives will surpass everything you had imagined. The divine has a way of bringing into your life exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. You may not understand the timing, and it may seem like things are taking longer than they should, but trust that everything is happening in its own time. When you allow yourself to trust in this divine timing, you release the grip of fear and anxiety that keeps you attached to the past. You stop looking back and you start looking forward with faith, knowing that what is ahead is greater than anything you left behind. The replacements that the divine brings are not always what you expect. Sometimes they come in forms you may not recognize at first, or they may come through unexpected channels. But that is the beauty of divine timing. It is beyond your comprehension and beyond your control. All you need to do is remain open to what the universe has to offer and trust that it is bringing you exactly what you need for your growth, your evolution, and your highest good. When you learn to trust the divine process, you stop holding on to things that are no longer serving you. You stop clinging to the past, whether it's a person, a job, or an opportunity that has passed. You begin to understand that these things were merely stepping stones to bring you closer to where you are now, and that they have fulfilled their purpose. The divine does not take away from you, it only removes what is no longer in alignment with your true path. And in its place, it offers you something better, something that is perfectly suited to the person you are becoming. The moment you allow yourself to let go, the moment you release the need to control or to hold on to the past, the replacement will appear. It will show up when you least expect it, and it will be more magnificent than you ever dreamed possible. You will wonder how you ever lived without it, just as you once wondered how you could live without the things you have lost. As you go through this process, remember that your worth is not tied to anything external. Your worth is inherent, it is constant, and it is unshakable. No one and nothing can take it away from you. What you have lost was never the source of your value, it was simply a part of your journey. When the divine replacement arrives, it will come not to fill a void, but to expand your capacity to experience the fullness of life. You will realize that the void was never truly empty, it was simply waiting for something even more beautiful, more fulfilling to arrive. You might still have moments when you miss the old things, the old experiences, or the old people. It's natural. But in those moments, remind yourself that what is coming is far beyond anything that was ever meant to stay in your life. Trust that every shift, every change is for your greater good. Know that the divine replacement is exactly what you need in order to step into the next phase of your evolution. You will begin to realize that the divine knows you better than you know yourself. It knows what you need, even when you don't. It knows what will make you grow, what will help you evolve, and what will bring you peace. And when the divine replacement arrives, it will be nothing short of miraculous. It will feel like a natural part of your journey, as though it has always been meant to be. And in that moment you will let go of the past, not because you have to, but because you simply won't need it anymore. When the divine replacement arrives, it will bring with it a sense of fulfillment, peace, and alignment that you have never known before. It will make you realize that everything that has happened up until this point was simply the groundwork for what is to come. And as you stand in the presence of your new reality, you will be filled with gratitude, not just for what has arrived, but for the entire journey that brought you to this place of understanding, peace, and abundance. The divine replacement is not just an external shift, it is an internal awakening that will transform every aspect of your life. As you continue to walk forward, embrace the knowledge that the divine has a plan for you, one far greater than anything you could have imagined. Each step you take, each experience you encounter, is leading you to something even more beautiful and meaningful than what you may have lost. Trust in the process, trust in the timing, and trust in the divine replacements that are coming your way. They are not just things, people, or opportunities. They are the manifestations of your highest potential, the expression of your true self, and the fulfillment of the divine plan for your life. Let go of the past, for it no longer defines you. Allow the divine to lead you to what is meant for you, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. In time, the replacements will fill you with a peace and joy that surpasses understanding, and you will look back with gratitude for everything that was removed from your life. It was all part of the grand design. You are never truly without. You are always being guided towards something greater. Remember, what is meant for you will never pass you by. When the replacement arrives, you will not only forget what you lost, you will realize that you were never truly losing anything at all. You were simply making room for something infinitely better. And in that moment of realization, you will stand in awe of the divine wisdom that has always been with you, guiding you every step of the way.